Alright, what's up, y'all? It's 2021, and I'm back with the what? Chipotle Mukbang. So I'm talking a little low because y'all know I'm in the office. And even though it's nothing going on, I don't want to be that loud person like how I would talk if I was in my car. And first thing first, I forgot to bag on my hot sauce. But it's all good. When I go pay my phone bill today, I'll just like go get some. Or it's not even that important for me to really get. But let's talk about what we got. First things first, I get me a burrito bowl, tortilla inside, white rice, steak, corn, cheese, lettuce. And I just started getting lettuce on the joint. I know I must have been working with Shanola at the time because I can remember me picking up our food and then like me giving her hers and me driving away. And then when I drove away and got home, I realized that, or either when I drove away, I realized that I had hers, or when she got home, or not when she got home, but you know, once she opened it up, she was like, oh, you got mine, but I was already gone. So I was like, dang, I tried. Because like I say, I didn't always get lettuce on my stuff, but once I tried it, it was good. Bomb. So that, we got the little salad dressings. If you're not using this, please try it. And I got my little black beans on the side. For drinks, got my little bottle coming soon. When I say coming soon, I mean talking about I'm gonna release my own bottles with my own little junk. So yeah, either way, got me some Lipton iced tea. I poured the sugar in, and that's not closed all the way. But yeah, and a side note, it hasn't been closing right for real, for real. I don't know what happened, but you see how this top isn't like how it should be? I don't know how that happened, but yeah, either way, nice and sweet. I'll just keep that right there. And yeah, it's 1:18. I don't even know. Let's get started, you know what I'm saying? Just, like I said, a little mukbang. And I don't even know what to start or what to really even talk about. Alright, y'all, I'm back. And I still don't know what I was talking about previously. But I don't know. Now I finally got a topic after I'm like 2 eats in, 2 whatever. Either way, let's talk about the DMV. How we're not together for real. We're very divided and going against each other. And that's why we're not winning. And that's why, and that's why other cities and towns and states are able, and people are able to take things that we didn't came up with and make it seem like that they came up with it and that was and all that crap. And that's not how it worked. For one, the word glizzies. We know that started here. Shy Glizzy. Hello. He was the first glizzy I even heard about before we was calling them hot dogs. Or whatever. However that worked, whatever. But that's a prime example of what happened with glizzies. And people be so mad when like Snoop Dogg came out with his own glizzy hot dog and they mad. But I'm like, how are y'all mad? Nobody here thought to do it. None of y'all thought to trademark this shit or nothing. I ain't even think to do it. So, can't be too mad. And then I seen they was mad at Glorilla and Cardi for taking the little, that jump, whatever dance. Okay. You know what I'm saying? That's all I can say, because it's like we really come up with so much stuff and then try to like hold on to it while other people from the outside take it from us because y'all so busy trying to gatekeep it for yourselves. I'm not saying that that's what happened with the dance, but I'm just saying stuff like that. I done been in places where, shout out to Let 'Em Know Lay. She from Virginia. I haven't been in places where, matter of fact, forget the places I done been. How about the simple fact that to us, okay, DC, the DMV, right? I'm like, oh, it's not part of the DMV if you can't go on the metro train. Okay, that's the metro area. The DMV is DC, Maryland, and Virginia. And that includes what it says, DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia. Because we all right next to each other. So, yeah. So it's like, we know that or whatever, but it's like being here and actually living here. Because I know out of most of my friends, it's only 2 of us that's from DC. And we make that a point to like joan and talk about. But it's like, Okay, cool. You from DC. Okay, cool. You from Maryland. Okay, cool. You from Virginia. Make something work, because on the outside, like I told you, I met Sean Cotton. He asked like is there really a difference? And because he was like, on the outside, people hear DMV and think DC, Maryland, Virginia, that's all one big thing. Okay, yeah, it's different states or whatever, even though DC is in the state. But the fact that we look like we're one big thing. But then when you get into a room with people from DC, Maryland, Virginia, everybody ready to fight and go at it against each other. Son, that shit is not cool, son. That's why when you hear me say I'm from DC, I just say I'm from DC, because it's another thing that I noticed too. Like, for instance, I see well, I haven't really seen Shy Glizzy and Aunt Glizzy go back and forth, but I've seen like videos of them going back and forth, and videos of like different like little local celebrities going back and forth, and it's always, you ain't from such and such. I ain't never seen you around such and such. Like, I seen like when Shy Glizzy said he ain't see the dude from DMV Hoods and News. He from uptown, right? I also used to live uptown. Some people would consider me from uptown. You know what I'm saying? Because my sister, swear to God, I'm from 9th and Kennedy. But that's another story for another time. But I lived uptown for a nice majority of my life. So it's like, when I was watching the video and Shy Glizzy, who was from Southeast, says to someone who's from uptown, oh, I ain't never seen you uptown, this and this and that. How could you, though? You live in Southeast. When would you ever have the chance to do that? You know what I'm saying? Not saying that you can't travel uptown, but it's like, I just can't stand when people do that. I even made a post about funnel, right? I made a post about sheets and funnel. Look, we finally getting into the mukbang. Yeah. I made a post about sheets and funnel. And the first thing people try to say is, oh, you could tell she not from the city because this and this, or somebody else was like, you definitely not from such and such because I lived around there and I don't know you. I'm like, bitch, you shouldn't know me. You just said you're like 38. I'm 24 at this time. I'm like, you just said you're like 38. I'm 24. Yeah, we don't know each other. You're grown as shit, even though I'm grown too. But you was grown 20 years before I was grown. Fuck out of here. So people be sounding dumb as shit. Like, everybody don't know everybody, for real. Because I had cousins that I met outside of like family events and didn't know we were cousins until like, I don't even know how. Like one of my cousins, I don't know where we was at or what, but I seen him somewhere, and then I went to my with my aunt somewhere to my cousin's house, and I'm like, oh, didn't I just see you at such and such? I'm like, oh, we cousins. Matter of fact, that happened to me and one of my coworkers. She posted her cousin who had just got out of jail, and I'm like, that's my cousin. He just got released. And she was like, well, his father is my cousin. And I'm like, well, his mother is my cousin. We cousins. But that's what I'm saying. Like, you never know who was from where or who knows who or none of that. And then it'd be cases where I done seen people say, oh, well, you're not from DC. If you wasn't born in DC, how you know? Like, for example, Aunt Glizzy said Fat Trill isn't from DC because he was born in like a Virginia hospital or something. No one can really control where they're born at. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a cousin right now that was just born in New York and was raised his whole life in DC. But his mom decided to go out of town during her last couple weeks and ended up going into labor in New York and all that, or however that worked. So, yeah, so that's why. And shout out to Anton White, too. He a DC, one of the DC blacks, which means got locked up probably sometimes in the late 80s, early 90s, and they gave him way too much time for something stupid, or for like drug possession. You know, they was giving our uncles and fathers 75 years, 100 years for having like an ounce of cocaine. But what I'm saying is that I watched a video with him, and he was like, he says he's just from DC, because if you claim in one part, like I said, going back to the Shy Glizzy thing, he's from Southeast. So you said, for people like, oh, I'm from Southeast DC. Well, what about the other three? Southwest, Northeast, Northwest, you know what I'm saying? Even though I know some people never even left, like, I know people right now who has never left Southeast. You know what I'm saying? Never left Southeast. Like, that area for real. Like, that's crazy. I knew somebody like that. So it's like, you can't try to, it's like people will try to, like, just to hate, they'll try to say you're not from somewhere just to make it, you know, just to try to, like, whatever. But at the end of the day, no one really knows people know, but it's like, you can't tell somebody they're not from there because you don't know them. You know what I'm saying? That makes no sense. That's like, oh, you ain't from such and such if you don't know Lil Rah Rah. How you know Lil Rah Rah ain't do something wild to somebody and now, you know what I'm saying, they families don't speak or whatever. It's just that little thing, like all that hood shit, young where you're from, all that crap, like that's little kid shit for real. Okay, cool, yeah, I'm from DC and I want everybody to know that, but I'm probably never gonna like double down, well, not even double down, but I'm never gonna like go hard for like some one neighborhood because I don't own that neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ever heard of Social Quarters? Both sides of my family is from there. I ain't gonna say I grew up around it because my mom made it a choice. She was like, y'all not gonna grow up around here. So whatever. But both sides of my family is from that jump, and that shit is non-existent. They knocked it down. You could probably go on YouTube and find some of the stuff on there, like what it used to look like. But it's like, that joint is gone, and it's like, that's what I'm saying. Like these hoods, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, cool, you from where you from, but it's like, man, these hoods get knocked down and gone, and then that shit ain't nowhere to be. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody tripping off it. You know what I'm saying? Not that nobody tripping off it, but it's like it's gone. So now what? Remember, I know y'all heard when Lil Durk was trying to buy O Block. Man, I'm done. Like, comment, subscribe, share. I'm about to like try to do some more work. And yeah, that's all I really got to say. Like, that's why I say I'm from DC. I done been all over the whole DC. Now, granted, I never lived in Southeast or Southwest, but I have lived in Northeast and Northwest. I know people from all over though. You know what I'm saying? You can have people from all over. So people saying, "Oh, you're not from here because they never seen you," or "Oh, you're not from here because of wherever you was, the hospital you was born at." Oh, that should be wild, but whatever. You know, shout out to DC General. I heard my old hospital. Yeah, no, shout out to DC General and the fact that I have no baby pictures because they stole my baby pictures. DC General stole my baby pictures, but everybody know that's like right around the corner from like 16th Street or whatever. So, but that's my point. I just told y'all the places I lived at, the hospital I was born at, and even if you want to take it to the damn daycares almost, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, being from here, people would try to say anything to hate. Weird as shit. Like, comment, subscribe, shit.